When is Big Brother on? Our feed says they've mentioned it's mid-August. They're keeping very tight-lipped about when it's happening. But I've got a date around the 27th of August. Mark that down. It's going to be about then. All right?
Hush, hush.
Yeah. Jenny has said Vince has... How do you pronounce her name again?
Janio.
So, exactly how it's spelled. Said that Vince has been waiting for something like this to happen, though.
You reckon?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Hey, listen, it is the Midweek Wrestle Chat. We will keep up to date on the Hulk Hogan story as it unfolds. I'll tell you what I've also got to do before we move on. Because we are friends with many podcast people in the world, and we are especially friends. I listen to PW Torch.
Yes.
It's a live cast. They do amazing work. They've got pwtorch.com, and I've been listening to these guys doing their shows week in, week out. And quite frankly, they are brilliant. We've got Bruce Mitchell is on there hosting as well. Travis Byrant is on there as well. Wade Keller and Jason Powell, brilliant. Well, I think it was Jason that emailed me because I went on and I was listening to the show. They're huge in the States. If you want to check out another podcast, then you need to go and check out PW Torch. They are absolutely brilliant.
There we go.
And I said I would give them a mention because they should be giving us a mention on their show on Monday.
Yes.
That's PW Torch. They do a live cast in the States, and they are going to give us a mention. We've had a nice few emails. Lovely guys, and they know their stuff. And one of them, I believe, used to write for the WWE.
There we go.
And he goes on to Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast weekly, and they're going to be giving us a mention.
That's lovely, Evan. Thank you very much.
That's
Cheers.
very kind. So very good, guys. Keep up the good work because it is truly a great show. We're going to be talking about Raw and SummerSlam. It's all coming up right after this. If you'd like to get in touch with us here at the Midweek Wrestle Chat and share your thoughts, just email us. It's midweekwrestlechat@gmail.com. That's if you want to get in touch on Gmail, you can. Of course, if you've got anything to say and you want to get in touch through Skype, you can. All you have to do, Skype the Podcast Hut. We're in there. You can call us at any time if you've got anything to say. So, Raw this week. My God. I almost want to jump straight into the main event. But, Aaron, you've got probably notes that you've been making with your little jotter pad.
I think we should jump straight into the main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're jumping straight in to the main event.
It was just... It was brilliant. It was...
Yeah.
You said earlier on that you heard somebody say that they thought it was fake.
Yeah, I was reading a load of comments about John Cena. It was actually on Instagram, and there was a picture of John Cena and Brie.
Yes.
Yeah, I always get confused. Nikki.
No, Nikki.
Nikki.
Yeah, Brie, yeah.
Anyway, John and Bella. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're holding hands, and there's a lovely picture, and she's just put "my life, my love," something like that. And someone's put underneath, "Are you guys crazy? You do realise that his nose wasn't really broken; it's all fake."
Ridiculous.
And I was so close to making a comment, and I thought, I'm not even going to grace this absolute buffoon with an answer.
Now, I've watched it a couple of times on purpose because I noticed a couple of things.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it was done on purpose.
No.
But was it done on purpose?
Why?
I don't know.
What do you mean? Seth Rollins kneed him in the head?
Yeah, not on purpose. That's normally not a spot you see. And they sold it with a couple of punches beforehand, but the nose was destroyed. Right?
What? No, I don't get. What are you trying to say?
No, I'm not saying he let him break his nose.
Right.
I'm saying that they went to maybe they did something to do with the spot, and he just went a little bit wrong.
Like what?
Well, that knee to the head is.
You've actually, ladies and gentlemen, for people that can't see this,
smashed my microphone.
A comedy low honk. He just put his hands up in the air, brought them down, and then destroyed his own microphone. You're a buffoon.
No, I'm not saying it was real. I'm just saying that they worked that angle, that spot quite well for the build-up, and then the nose went. Right. I think they were going to build up on an injury, but it actually went. So
okay.
It looks like it was because he sold his nose on some of the punches. He looked like he was potatoing him, basically.
Right.
And then he kneed him to the face, which is normally a spot you wouldn't see. It was quite MMA styley.
All right, so so what you're saying you think in podcast enhancing ways, you think that they were going to fake some. I'm not using the word fake.
No, do some kind of injury or do a spot with the face.
They were going to do an injury spot with the face, and they still going to sell it, and it went wrong, and he kneed him in the head, and he busted his nose. Quite frankly, his nose, when you got the proper angle, his nose was on the other side of his face. It was pushed up into his eye.
Yeah, he looked like the footballer called Steve Bruce. Now, if anyone knows who that is, his nose goes across his whole face. It touches one of his ears.
Yeah. So, and he's got a broken nose. And just like Christopher David Jenkins says in the chat box over on Spreaker.com live, he said, we'll say Cena hit the springboard stunner for the first time. Yeah. So he has a broken nose, he carries on, and then finally hits the springboard stunner.
He couldn't see for shit. And not just that, the way Michael Cole, there wasn't that pause where anything goes. Normally there's that pause where it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Cole was straight in it. I think he's broke his nose before we saw any blood.
They built the commentary team. They obviously had Vince McMahon in his ear because JBL was really selling it really well. Yeah, he's a tough son of a bitch. He was really great.
Fake or not, or whatever you want to call it, or being at work or not, which I don't think it was. It could have been.
Don't be ridiculous. What?
No, it's
there
not.
is no way that is fake. Claire has just said you can't fake that. It looked
broke. No, I'm not saying it was fake. I'm saying like the spot might have been. He might have been like potatoed on purpose.
Right.
But the nose breaking was obviously not fake.
Yeah, that
it
was real.
Pissing.
Martin has said
whatever it was brilliant.
Martin has said the springboard stunner looked okay, though I did cringe when I knew he was going to go for it. Yeah, well, it's absolutely right. But what a match!
It was great.
I mean, it was a great match anyway. I found it a bit weird that they were going to have this match, knowing that they've got the match coming up at SummerSlam.
Have they announced that match?
They haven't announced it, but that's where they're going. Got to be.
They've got to. Yeah, they've got to.
That's got to be the match. And now, well, the news is that John Cena might have to wear a mask.
That's brilliant. Remember when Taker had to wear a mask?
Yeah.
That was that SummerSlam as well? I think it was.
Remember. But he's going to have to, isn't he? If he's got to wrestle...
I think he might be fine by then. It's 4 weeks away.
How long does a broken nose take? He's got a lot of damage in that nose.
There isn't much of the nose left because it was proper fooked.
He's going to have some surgery done, isn't he?
Maybe that'll make it heal quicker. So
he's got. Well, what we do know is, if we do see John Cena, we'll be seeing him with some black eyes on Monday Night Raw.
His eyes were going as either it was. He was talking, saying, "I can see, I can see, I can breathe, I can breathe." So that was good. He said that quite a bit. To the doctor, so
yeah, fair play to them. They were in there, they were looking after it, and I like the way the match unfolded, and I like the way. Credit to Seth Rollins, the way he carried on.
Oh yeah.
He carried on really well, considering knowing what he'd just done, seeing what was happening, and calling it on the hoof, as we say.
To be honest, from experience, when I did work a little bit, if you've injured somebody, it is really difficult to carry on because you've got to put that out of your mind and stay in your character and not be so worried and still do your spots. And he was still kicking him in the head after.
Yeah. Well, there was a spot. He went outside the ring and he jumped up on the rope and did that kick to his head. But he was very light, but he was still doing these spots. And then he kicked him when he was on his knees and you saw Cena turn his head. And it was like, oh, no, don't kick his head. Don't.
It's like when Taker chokeslammed Mick Foley through the cage.
Yeah.
And then he thought, did he think, shit, I got to still go through this?
Yeah.
I've still got to finish off.
Yeah, exactly.
And get the tacks out. It's incredible.
It's a little bit like when I did that wrestling event with you and my knee popped out and I knew I had some spots to do and I was in a mess. And I had to pop my knee back in, and I got up, and I beat you up, and I chucked you out the arena, and then I
let you beat me up, son, and I was really light with you.
Can I just say, didn't let me anyway.
I was really light with you.
Christopher's just said they reckon a couple of weeks with a mask, but should be fine for SummerSlam. Martin also says, I showed this clip to my mum. Oh, that's lovely bit of television viewing, isn't it? She immediately said she didn't like Rollins. When Cena won, she shouted, "Come on, son." I like your mum, Martin. She sounds fabulous.
Can I just point out, and I'm going to just slate everybody again,
Go on.
Them stupid haters. If you are not a fan of John Cena now, you're not a fan of wrestling. I'm sorry.
The man
is tremendous to do that after that injury with his nose spread across his face like flora, right?
Yeah.
It's just incredible. The man he just is wrestling at the moment. I don't care what anyone says.
A lot of people moan about Cena and his positioning and all the rest of it. People say they're getting bored of him. He is proving time after time, especially with his title defences, match after match after match is the match of the night. And to go ahead and pull that out, a match like that out the bag with that injury, is just proving just how great that man is.
And like a year ago, 12 months ago, it was me was saying I'm bored of John Cena, and now I am such a big fan.
You can't fault him. You cannot fault the man.
It's just incredible. His work is excellent, and if you're still hating him, you need to get over yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Really get over yourself.
Well, it's like we don't like spoilers on this show. We don't know, but we will certainly talk about things like this. It'd be interesting to see how this unfolds and what they do, whether it's a mask or whatever. We'll find out.
Great. I think it builds the match even more because I think we might not see Cena work until the actual SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be great. And not seeing Cena work now for a few weeks, everyone else is going to have to pick their game up because they're going to need that match.
Yeah.
You know, those matches that he's had top match for the last...
It's already... I mean, if that match does get signed, so we got Seth Rollins, John Cena, we've only got one other match actually signed for SummerSlam.
The main event. That's the only match signed, yeah.
And that's Brock Lesnar taking on The Undertaker.
Which is going to be mental.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be incredible.
It's just...
I can't get over it.
It's great. And I think Undertaker's looking in good shape. They had their brawl last week. We've got Brock Lesnar back on Monday night. He's coming back next week, which is amazing. And I just think the way they're building it is great. And I think Taker said... I just imagine Taker has said... Me being off and promoting WrestleMania but not appearing until WrestleMania was probably a mistake.
Right, yeah.
That's what I'd like to think. I think it was nice to try it. I think they did well going, no, because we were all saying, this is amazing. He's promoting WrestleMania. He's not even been seen. Are we going to see him? Are we going to see him? Never been seen. Up until WrestleMania.
That made it so monumental, though, the fact that we hadn't seen him for so long. We hadn't seen him for a whole year, and he turned up at Mania. I thought that made it so special.
Yeah. The
build-up with Bray Wyatt. By the way, Bray Wyatt, I thought his promo was excellent again this week.
Yeah.
So that's just a quick dig if put Bray in there. But no, Cena, I can't... People still bugging me.
Just let it go, man. Let it go. I'll tell you what, for all those people that disagree with us about John Cena, that's what we say to you.
Indeed.
We'll give you all of those comedy effects. People are saying in the chat box that, Claire says your mum's awesome, Martin. Your mum is awesome. Stardust, a bit more promo time than Neville this week.
I thought that was good. That's in my notes as well.
Go on then, talk about it, Aaron Blanchard, the podcasting answer on the Midweek Wrestle Chat, live on Speaker and on iTunes. Sorry.
Shut up.
All
They're
right.
developing Stardust now.
Yeah.
They're developing his talking. Because, think about it, his old man, best talker in the business.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that every promo he's done since he's been back...
Little tip of the hat.
...has been a dusty line in it.
Mm-hmm.
He said about dining with kings and queens this week. I think it was brilliant. I think we're going to see something with him and Steve Amell, the Arrow, the group from the TV series.
There was a little clip on Vine where it was Neville was down and he pulled the bow.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I think the whole build-up for that's going to be great. There's going to be the celebrity thing in SummerSlam. I think you could start seeing a big push from Stardust if his work keeps getting better. I think there's going to be a push. At the end of the year, maybe, I think we'll see some push from him. So that's really good. The Bray promo was brilliant again. I'm glad Luke Harper's back in the Wyatt family. Really glad of that.
Obviously, who's the other one?
Eric Rowan.
He's off, isn't he, with an injury? What's he got wrong with him?
Not sure.
I can't remember.
Stubbed his beard or something. I'm not sure. Sprained his beard.
I think he'll be back in it, but I think they've got another one coming.
Yes, there has been talk, and it's been quite obvious that there's a possibly new Wyatt.
Yeah. Because
the gentleman's been tweeting about it. Now, if you don't know, should we talk about it? If you don't know...
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Let's just do it, man.
There's a possibility that Adam Rose is going to become a Leo Kruger again.
Ah, right, okay. I thought it may have been Bo Leave.
Really? Well, that's been talked about as well.
Yeah.
because he's growing a beard. But there's also
that makes sense then with Adam Rose, because he put a picture out of him.
Yes,
dressed
as Leo Kruger.
Yes,
he's been tweeting. He's tweeted parties over.
Right.